So it looks like the entire world is turning against Windows at this point. This was from 5 years ago. South Korea's government was moving from Windows to Linux. And this is before Windows 11 or the forced migration to Windows 11. And I'm sure they're very glad that they made that move. We're going to talk about that. I got to give a hat tip to Martin for sending this over. And I think a lot of smarter people did move to Linux before it, we reached the place of no return, the point of no return with Microsoft. And we're seeing that they're going to be injecting more Copilot AI features into Windows 11. So we've been covering this because it is kind of games adjacent, because the health of Microsoft, it kind of ties in with the health of Xbox and Windows and all of that. And I think we might be seeing a tech titan collapse under its own weight in real time. The new CEO is an absolute disaster, right? This guy is he's pushing AI. People obviously don't want it. The smart thing to do would be to offer users a very stripped down version of Windows 11, because once you strip the AI features out of it and de-bloat it, it's actually pretty good. I have it running on a couple machines. It's been de-bloated and it runs pretty good. But people just don't like it. So you're going to have to do something, Microsoft, because I think people are turning against you, and there are other options out there. And those options are free, by the way. Linux is free, right? Mint is free. So, Microsoft, I think, is $120 now, or $140 for Windows. I'm just saying, free is very attractive. And when it's free and more functional than your own stuff, well, it's kind of a slam dunk at that point, right? So let's talk about all this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, go out to more.clownfishtv.com. That's more.clownfishtv.com. So we'll talk about this first. It's come from Windows Central. They're going to shoehorn more Copilot into Windows 11, the new preview build of the first preview build of 2026. So congratulations, guys. You're going to get more AI crap in your Windows. Microsoft's first new preview build of Windows 11 for 2026 is packing a handful of Copilot additions, along with a new mobile resume feature and more. So they said Microsoft has rolled out its first Windows 11 preview build of the year, and this one brings with it another feature that was previously Copilot Plus exclusive to all Windows 11 users. Remember, Dell is even getting away from the Copilot Plus PCs. People aren't buying them. They don't want them. The AI should be optional. Just saying. This feature is part of Narrator and allows the Narrator app to lean on Copilot and describe an image that's on your screen. Oh boy. You better make sure they're clean images. Last year, we introduced rich image descriptions Narrator on Copilot Plus PCs, making it possible for blind and low vision users to hear detailed AI generated descriptions of images, charts, and graphs. Yeah, and that's what alt tags were originally for, I think, with images on the web, so vision impaired people could know what was on the screen, right? Narrator can now work with Copilot on all Windows 11 devices to further understand images and visual elements on your screen. Unlike most of Microsoft's AI features in Windows 11, this one is genuinely useful. Yes, I believe. I think, again, though, I think they should all be optional. I think all of this AI stuff, the Copilot stuff, should be optional. And there are people that are going to find great benefit, I'm sure, in using it, but I don't think it should be forced on anyone. And it definitely does slow your machine down. So the use of AI to enhance accessibility features should be appreciated, in this case, making it available to all Windows 11 users instead of just those with a Copilot Plus PC is good. Yeah. So it's in addition to Copilot support and Narrator, Microsoft is also adding the ability for IT admins to uninstall, oh, that's interesting, to uninstall Copilot apps on managed devices. Let me reread this. This is very important. This shows exactly where people are at with Copilot. In addition to Copilot support and Narrator, Microsoft is also adding the ability for IT admins to uninstall the Copilot app on managed devices on Windows 11 Pro, Enterprise, and Education editions. The new policy will uninstall Copilot if the following conditions are met. Microsoft 365 Copilot and Copilot are both installed. The Copilot app was not installed by the user. The Microsoft Copilot app was not launched in the last 28 days. Oh, that is some horse shit. I'm sorry. You should be able to uninstall the shit whenever you want to. So you have to like not use it, and it couldn't be oh my God. In non-Copilot news, Microsoft is now testing an enhancement to the cross-device resume feature. It's testing in Windows Insiders on 11. It's all Copilot. All the news about Microsoft is Copilot and how much people hate it. Now, South Korea was ahead of the curve. This was interesting. And this happened years ago. Presumably, this is where they went with it, because I haven't seen any recent updates, but ZDNet has it. South Korea's government explorers moved from Windows to Linux desktops. What may prove to be the biggest migration from Windows to Linux, the South Korean government is looking into shifting from Windows 7 to a trio of Linux desktops. Yeah, most governments are actually behind the curve. I'm going to be honest. I worked for a couple of government adjacent companies, and we were using old tech. It's because that's what they've worked out is like safest. Their IT people know how to use it. The system requirements aren't great, and some of these agencies, I know they're running on a shoestring budget, so they can't go buy the latest greatest PC. They said with Windows 7 and support coffin, some institutions are finally giving up on Windows entirely. And this was 6 years ago. The biggest of these may be the South Korean government. In May of 2019, South Korea's Interior Ministry announced plans to look into switching to the Linux desktop from Windows. It must have liked what it saw. According to the Korean news site Nusis, not to be confused with nuisance, the South Korean Ministry of Strategy and Planning has announced the government is exploring moving most of its approximately 3.3 million Windows computers to Linux. Yeah, if it's good enough for the South Korean government, it's good enough for you, random user. I'm just saying. The reason for this is simple. It's to reduce software licensing costs and the government's reliance on Windows. As I am going to botch this guy's name, Choi Jang-hyuk, the head of the Ministry of Strategy and Finance, said, "We will resolve our dependency on a single company while reducing the budget by introducing an open source operating system." Yes, Linux is free. Linux Mint is free, and it works better than Windows 11 in most cases. And it does not have any AI. And it's got all the Office stuff that you need. It's all free. And it runs most Windows programs. I do have a couple of machines here that are still on Windows because I have to use Windows because some of the applications I use only run on Windows. Unfortunately, they do not run well on Linux, even with Wine. They just don't. I've tried. Trust me, if I could get rid of it completely, I would. But there we are. How much? South Korean officials said it would cost 780 billion won, about $655 million US dollars, to move government PCs from Windows 7 to Windows 10. So again, this is 5 or 6 years ago. And they sure as hell aren't going to move to 11 with all the bloat, right? They said in the first steps, the Ministry of National Defense and National Police Agency are already using Ubuntu Linux 1804. They said borrows from Linux Mint. Yeah, it uses Cinnamon. Meanwhile, the Korean Postal Service is moving to Tmax OS. Yeah, that's interesting. That's very interesting that they're doing this. I think we're going to see a lot of this. I think we're going to see a lot of companies migrate. I mean, at this point, we don't need Windows. There used to actually be multiple options for operating systems. I used to use the GEOS operating system. I don't know if you guys remember GEOS or not. I mean, this shows how old I am and how long I've been online. But it was very Windows-like. And it came with most PCs that you would buy at like Sears or Radio Shack or something like that, right? And it was pretty good. It was. And I'm really surprised it didn't take off more. But yeah, I mean, there are other options. It used to be that, you had your pick of operating systems, and Windows just kind of became the default because they started shipping it with all the computers. And I remember you had to buy Windows at one point in time. Like, you had to buy it. If you had a computer and you wanted Windows, you had to buy it, and it came in a box. And you'd have to install it using DOS to install Windows to make your computer easier to use. Now, just by default, every PC comes with Windows. And I think we need to get away from that. It is dangerous. It is dangerous to rely on one company for everything. I mean, we had a scare a couple of months ago. We covered it, that all these computers, these government computers and a bunch of airline computers went down because of a Windows update. It's kind of scary. I think we need to have more control over our computers, but they don't want you to have control over the computer because you are the product, right? You're the product. These operating systems, especially the newer ones that are very nosy, they're browsing your history. They're looking at what's on your desktop so they can market to you. We are cattle, right? It's like, and I am starting to really feel like we need to go back to older tech. That's not always online. I mean, your refrigerator should not be online, damn it. It should not be showing you ads. Now, speaking of which, Samsung now, they're all like, hey, our TVs are going to go up because of the RAM shortage. I'm like, why does your TV need so much RAM? Your TV doesn't need RAM. I mean, it needs some RAM to run the smart apps or whatever, but I remember when TVs didn't have RAM. They were just TVs. Just let the TV be a TV. Let the fridge be a fridge. Let your computer do what you want it to do. Do what you bought it for, and don't do anything else, right? But that doesn't facilitate maximum profit, record profits, right? Record profits. So I'm going to wrap it up. Please subscribe. We'll talk later.